If you've watched any of my videos before, you'll probably have seen some footage like this. Or maybe you've heard me talk about journaling, or even seen a video or two on it. But my journaling practice extends further than this. It's not just a quick bit of writing about how I'm feeling. No. This is how I set up my day, week, month, and life. This is the bullet journal method. This method, created by writer Carol, has gained a very large following over the years. Carol originally created this method for himself to manage his ADD, and once it became public knowledge, it spread like wildfire. And after seeing a lot of these videos and hearing about this method seemingly everywhere, I decided to try it out for myself. So on January 19th, 2019, I set up my first bullet journal, and I have not looked back since. What makes this method so brilliant, and probably why it's so popular, is how flexible, versatile, and orderly it is. And not just from person to person, but from page to page. Because Ryder created his journal to manage his ADD, flexibility and versatility were a non-negotiable. But it also had to be constructed in a very orderly and disciplined manner. So throughout your journal, you can constantly add, change, and manipulate without ever having to start again. You control your journal, not the other way around. So let me take you through what I did prior to having this journal. In primary school, whenever I needed to remember something, I wrote it down on my hand. In high school, we were given a new diary each year, so I wrote everything I needed in these diaries and still had the occasional note or two on my hand. In university, I was left to my own devices, so I used the notes section on my computer to write down my to-do lists. But I still carried around various little notebooks to write important things in, and there would always be a bundle of scrap paper in my bag as well. For my 3 years of uni, I continued to use this method and write my to-do list down on my computer, ticking things off as I completed each task. And at the end of the day, I'd delete the completed tasks and keep the others for tomorrow. But I soon had some issues with this method. Firstly, I could never look back and see when I completed a certain task. Once the day was over, it was deleted and I moved on. I also found that my to-do list would grow and grow each day as uncompleted tasks would continue to be carried over. Thirdly, when I entered a new day, I almost always had these uncompleted tasks remaining from the day before. So I always felt like I was trying to catch up each day and never really starting fresh. And finally, this was only my to-do list space. I had other notes throughout my phone, computer, on paper, everywhere. Nothing was ever in one place, and it always took an annoyingly long time to find what I needed. Now, normally in an experiment type video, I'll have a section of the video where I chat about the downsides or the things that I struggled with whatever method I'm trying. But if that is the reason you clicked on this video, then I am sorry to say that I have no struggles or anything to report, so you'll have to click on another one of my videos for that. Because the bullet journal method solved all of those previous problems I had with lists and note-taking. And yes, I know it can sound really unrealistic and probably fake to claim that this method solved all of the problems that I was having with this aspect of my life. But as I said earlier, because this method is designed to be flexible, versatile, and just mold to whatever you need it to be, I was able to fix all of my problems because I created the exact journal that I needed for myself. And as I grow and evolve and change, my journal has the ability to do the same. So here's how I've been using my journal for over a year. I won't go into great depth in this video, but if you'd like to see a video on where I take you through how I set it up and how I use it on a daily basis, let me know in the comments below. I have a really simple way of bullet journaling. The main purpose of my journal is practicality. I need to be able to gain and maintain mental clarity, track my progress, get random thoughts out of my head, have everything in the one place, and for it all to be as flexible as possible. A lot of people use this method of journaling as a creative outlet, and I have so much respect for this, but I know that this style just would not work for me. Whenever I've tried to start a journal in the past, I've never been able to be consistent with it because I always try and make them perfect. I absolutely love the idea of having each page be unique and beautiful and have beautiful illustrations and have it all be colorful and in a perfect color scheme. But in reality, that just doesn't work for me and what I need my journal to be for day-to-day life. I have other creative outlets in my life, like producing these videos. So what I really needed from this journal was somewhere where I could just take meeting notes, write to-do lists, video ideas, and general day-to-day housekeeping stuff. So this is how I use my journal. Firstly, instead of typing up to-do lists on my computer, I simply write them in my journal. The big differences here are, because it takes longer to write than type, I am already being more intentional with the tasks that I set myself for the day. If it's not worth writing down, it's not worth doing. And this works for transferring uncompleted tasks as well. Every time I don't complete a task, I have to rewrite it the following day, which in itself does a great job at motivating me to get that task done. But if I find that I have to keep pushing it back and back each day, maybe it's just not worth completing. Next, instead of using the calendar on my computer, I created a monthly log. When I write down my to-do list for the day, I always look back on this log to see what I have coming up or what I need to do. And for anything further in the future, I have my yearly log. I also, at the back of my journal pretty much every morning about how I'm feeling and just get any random thoughts out of my head. I find that this sets me up really well for a clear and positive day. Whenever I have a meeting or just anything out of the normal day-to-day to-do list, I simply turn to a new page and write. Keeping track of everything in my journal is really simple. I number every page, and then when I have something outside of my to-do lists, I pop them in the index at the front of my journal. So if I want to look back on some meeting notes, I can simply turn to my index and find the page from there. So this is just a really simple explanation of how I use my journal, and if you are interested in this more practical method, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to share my journal with you so you can benefit as well. Overall, I think I can safely say that I don't think I'll be going back to digital to-do lists. There's definitely a place for technology in my life, but there's just something so real and something that just feels right about actually writing things down. And it's working really well, and I have no desire to currently change that. Okay, so that wraps this video up. Thank you so much for watching. As you can probably tell, I am very passionate about this method, and if you decide to try it for yourself, I hope that it works just as wonderfully for you as well. I upload new videos every Thursday and a vlog every Monday, and I really cannot wait to see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!